against the proposal. I'm not speaking for the president, but I do not believe that the president is against the proposal. That's why I started by saying that it was the presidency that earlier floated the idea. So I'm sure the president likes, what is that. And I'm not even sure whether it's particular about his being excluded or not excluded. What I'm saying is that his intentions were genuine, and if the proposal is coming back through the National Assembly, okay. But what I'm saying is that you must consider the moral angle. There's the morality to all this. You do not make a law simply because you are thinking about some particular individuals. That law would not be effective. You make a law thinking about the system, thinking about the entire society, and not thinking about who is to be excluded or who is to be included. So, again, I say that the president, I don't believe, I cannot speak for the president, I'm not his spokesman, but I don't believe that the president is against what the National Assembly is proposing.
All right, let's look at some other recommendations, some other issues in that recommendation. One of them is the state police, and their recommendation was that, well, we should stay with what we have, but we should look for ways to strengthen it. But of course, you know that there are people who think that, no, we should actually have states being in charge of police in their various regions so that you could have a lot more effectiveness. Do you think that we should go with their recommendation, or we should dissolve the state police system?
Now, apart from the state police, you will realize that most of these proposals are coming in after wide consultations with Nigerians. The National Assembly, particularly the House of Rep, went through all their constituencies, and Nigerians were given the opportunity to have an input. And I'm sure what is being proposed now are the outcome of the views of Nigerians. Again, you have to subject it to continuous discussion before you can make a final conclusion. As far as the state police is concerned, if majority of Nigerians believe that it is premature to begin to talk about state police, and they have genuine reasons for believing that, then of course we should go by that view. But what I'm saying is that the amendment proposals being made, being thrown open to Nigerians today are products of our own contribution, Nigerians, because they did make consultations.
Okay, that's interesting.
Honestly, I was almost going to say, okay, Prof, well, you are Nigerian. Perhaps you tell us your thinking on the call for state police.
Well, if you want my own personal thinking, I think that I believe personally that state police is premature for Nigeria. We should try as much as possible to invigorate the police system we have. We can improve on what we have today rather than begin to create new state police. You know, we already have clashes between state executives and the national and the presidency over the functioning of state police. So we don't begin to create greater problems. I believe that the problems of the Nigeria police force can be resolved. It's not simply by just changing the name from Nigeria police force to Nigeria police, but I think there are ways in which we can resolve some of the problems that are confronting the Nigerian police today, rather than create a state police force. That's my own personal...
Prof, there are those who are similarly confused about your perspective on this recommendation of the Senate. First, they think that when it has to do with the 6-year single tenure, non-renewable term for the president, the vice, the governors, the deputies, you think it's a bad idea and that they may not like it. They should not target individuals, if we get your point correctly. When it comes to this one about the state police, you say if that's the thinking of Nigerians, then so be it. That seems two contrasting views, don't you think?
Well, I don't think when I said that it was not acceptable, what I said was that it was unfair, rather than to say there's nothing to suggest that the idea of excluding, the incumbent president or the governors is an idea that came from Nigerians. I do not think so. What really most Nigerians must have spoken in favor of is the idea of a single term, because they know the problems that are created by this. But I do not think that most Nigerians will suggest that we should be unfair to other Nigerians. Like I said, these are, the incumbents contested under a constitution which allowed the option of 2 terms, and that it will be morally wrong to begin to deny them that opportunity. And if you have to make a new law which is acceptable, you make a new law which will take immediate effect, but let them also enjoy from that. You cannot exclude them from the new law and at the same time bar them from the old one. I mean, that becomes unfair. That is my own argument. And if you relate that to the case of the police, my argument was just, again, these are based on existing facts. That the existing police force has its own problems, yes, we agree about that. But that the whole suggestion that you should create state police flies in the face of the realities of what exists today, when the state executives try as much as possible to manipulate whatever is available to them. And the police will be one of those. So if you create a state police today, you will see a lot of problems. So that argument was on its own a valid argument for not accepting the state police.
All right, then, Professor Godwin Sogolo is a professor of philosophy. Thank you very much indeed for speaking with us today on Sunrise Daily.